So 2026 is upon us, and to start the new year out, instead of starting it good, the community, COD commentary community, has indulged in doomer culture. I've seen a couple of videos addressing this, and I thought I would add my opinion on it because I feel very strongly about it. Um, Obviously, I think the whole doomer culture thing is negatively affecting everybody, and just negatively affecting the people who are like indulging in that, like making it. Um, which granted, like doomer culture has kind of been like really like not like a YouTube or social media thing. Uh, which well it is, but you know what I mean. There's a lot of people you just get anyways that you meet. I've had some people that I've called my friends, and they've kind of had like the doomer mentality, and definitely like being around that and kind of seeing like a lot of the stuff I've seen on YouTube definitely makes me like really fucking disappointed in a lot of people. And I could tell exactly what type of people they are, exactly by the content they make, um, and just I don't know. I don't think we should be scaring a lot of people away from life. Having relationships, building relationships with women, or just being friends with people, or like making people go into like financial crises because they're not doing what they should be doing, like all of it. And just I guess just being negative about everything. And there's really not a lot of good things going on in the world right now for me to be saying that, but eventually you gotta get to a point where you just kind of gotta like ignore it in a sense, and like realize that you're in your life and you're not in these other people's lives, especially if you're like not even near it. So I don't really live near where a lot of outside related world things are going on, but at the same time though, like the economy where I live is really shitty and different things like that, and I can be negative all I want about it and make different videos about it. And honestly, I can make all kinds of videos on like having shit friends and different things like that. But at the end of the day, I mean, like, you know what I mean, life happens, and you kind of gotta just learn from it, and like have a positive outlook of it at the end of the day. Because I mean, bad shit's gonna happen to you regardless. I mean, that's just how life is. You can't expect everything to be good, but you can't be fucking negative about it and a sack of shit about it all the time. I've had plenty of people in my life that have been like that. A good example is I used to smoke with this guy, another guy, buddy. Hey, we used to be all friends at work. Thank God we're not friends now, but he used to put backwoods in the bowl for some fucking reason, and I'd never hit it, so I'd pretty much never get to smoke. But they would, and I was not really a big fan of it anyways, and I kind of would just talk about like shit about it, and they'd be like, well, you don't hate your life enough, you know what I mean? Holy shit. Fucking okay. um but he was like you don't hate your life enough. And I don't know, I guess I don't, sometimes I do, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to be a negative sack of shit, obviously, you know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of these doomer culture videos are like sack of shits, and their lifestyle is probably not even like any different than mine. Like, I'm not saying like I'm the fucking holy grail, because I smoke pot and play the game all day, and sometimes I doom scroll, and I'll just sit there and not do anything productive. But it's usually not all the time. I'm not trying to make myself look fucking better than people, but I'll try to stay decently productive with some things. Definitely when it's like warm weather, I'm always outside fishing or hiking or traveling and doing different things like that. So I mean, I still try to find life as beautiful and be positive, even though some days I am negative about a lot of stuff. At the end of the day, you're gonna be negative about some things. You're gonna have them thoughts, but when you're constantly like thinking it and just not even deciding to change it at all, that's when it becomes, I feel like, a problem. And then spreading that type of like information to other people and making that kind of like your whole personality. Like, I'm just this just depressed knower of the world, and you got to do these things, or you're gonna be stuck. You're gonna be stuck and not fulfill shit. Like, holy shit, man. You know, we comes to a point where, you know, you gotta like just stop pandering to fucking bums and losers, like people who don't even make an effort for nothing. You know what I mean? And like start making your own content. You know, I mean, I don't see why I don't see a lot of positive content. You know, that's something I'm gonna invest in. But like positivity really does go a long way, and like I would rather see like a happy video, like something good, than just constant negative bullshit. You know what I mean? Like there's a difference between like constructive criticism videos about different things you can do in your 20s, or you know, certain things you could do better with certain like situations and relationships and things like that, and you know, people to avoid, yada yada yada. But when you're like just completely like pretty much fucking trauma dumping, and then like trying to make it seem like there's nothing good going on in life, you know what I mean? That you just gotta just shut the fuck up and like find something else to post. But I mean, it's easier said than done. I feel like this is kind of like the new wave. It's kind of sad to see that like COD commentary, or just COD in general, has just really turned into that. But you know, I'm not really a primary COD commentary anyways. I'm trying to like definitely upload more games, but you know, I feel like I definitely want to spread more of like a enlightening message than a negative message, or just a bullshit message, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Keep people's hopes up instead of dying it down. I feel like that's what we should be doing. If you don't agree with me, you know, I guess go fuck yourself. But you know, that's gonna be me, to be honest. I have really nothing else to say. But you know, peace, love, and joy, I guess. And toodle fuckwads.